Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Apple report for Thursday, August 31st, 2023. Before I jump into the charts, just want to, as usual, encourage you to please click like if you haven't already and subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. Please share the content with friends and colleagues and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos, just like the daily Apple report, daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and the long bond ETF, the TLT, as well as 2 individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor, always looking for 20% swings on those individual stocks. Just on Monday, we put out a stock pick on Netflix. There's another one due out in the next day or so. You have a 5-day free trial up front, so you can sign up for wickedstocks.com. Check everything out for 5 days. And if you don't like what you see, you can bow out at no cost to you whatsoever. So check out wickedstocks.com. So let's jump into the charts. This is the weekly chart, backtracking a bit, showing the big picture. We did settle 3-4 months ago above this long-term weekly channel top at 168.50, which put this market into a bullish framework into 24, anticipating the 225.72 3-year channel top over the months ahead. I'm going to put this as kind of a Q1 objective, not by the end of the year as I was once anticipating, because, several weeks ago we had a meaningful sell signal below this channel bottom projected off the January low that we actually closed above, clearly above, on Wednesday at 184.76. So we are off that sell signal, no longer anticipating a test of 168.50, and we're back in the bullish camp, if you will, as we move into later September trade. We also closed above the descending speed line at 185.87. So this 184.76 to 185.87 area, well equipped to contain selling pressures through next week. And in fact, above which I am anticipating, I'm going to say 3 to 5 weeks is a possibility. It could certainly spill into 2 months, depending on how we top out at certain locations on the way up. But 207.71, I'm going to call it by the end of October objective, possibly by the end of September. 207.71 is rising on a daily basis. If you're an options trader, you may consider reaching for 208, 210 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least, I would go 3 or 4 months out on that. And as far as the options trades that I recommend, there's a myriad of options, no pun intended, so when I say reach for 208, 210 out of the money calls, it's just an idea. It is an objective. Now, if you want to buy at the money options, I don't have a problem with that. You may look through the options matrix and find that, for instance, the 200s are undervalued relative to all the other out of the money calls. And that would, of course, be the option to buy just based on its undervaluing relative to the other option prices. So I'm not trying to skew you, firmly into one particular strike. I'm just broad brush stroking a big picture idea. But the out of the money calls, they're obviously going to be cheaper. I always recommend going further out in time. So if this is a 2 month target, you want to go probably 4 months out. You want to choose like a December, January, 207, 210 out of the money call. They're going to be a little pricier, but you'll have a better delta response on the way up. That is the rate of change of that option relative to the price increases for Apple. You'll be less susceptible to time decay if you go further out in time. But you may know all that. You may be more sophisticated in options than I am. I'm just painting kind of big picture ideas. The big picture idea right now is holding above 185.87 and really in combination with 184.76 maintains a buy signal as we move through September trade. I am expecting new highs beyond the 198.23 high from July and into this 205, 207 region over the next couple of months where we can top out on a monthly basis. If we were, of course, to close above the 207.71 channel top, then it is the longer term overall objective that we still have at 225.72. That would be the next kind of 3 to 5 week objective. I'm just guessing. So that is all big picture stuff. Now let's get on with the day itself. This is a good image of a session containment level at 190.18. Where else can I find? I know we have fine-tuned this a little bit better. This is better here. 188.19 is a 5/8 upside Fibonacci from the July high against the more recent August low. That is an intraday resistance area. Holding above 185.87 will keep 188.19 in reach. And if we push through 188.19, no, I'm not expecting 192.65, but I am anticipating this channel structure at 190.18 that I think can contain daily buying pressures. We may top out at 190.18 for more than a day. We could fall off for a couple of days back into the mid 180s where a buy opportunity would present into September trade and even into later year. But if we did close today above 190.18, that should set off follow-through buying. I do think that the 198.23 area then in reach within a week or two. So that is really kind of the big picture dynamic right now. Let's go back to the downside, that if we do break 184.76, I don't know if we would test this 180.80 channel bottom. I don't think so, but it is certainly possible. If we've got overnight weakness in the futures markets, let's say, and Apple opens at or below 184.76, then yes, we can and probably would on an intraday basis test this sharply rising channel bottom at 180.80. But I will say that if we close the day back below 184.76, that is an actionable sell signal. So we had an actionable buy signal on Wednesday's close above this range, and that has indicated bullish continuation into the lower 200 area by the end of October or sooner. So keep that in mind. But if we close below 184.76, I know I showed you that short-term channel bottom, but I do think this thing can unravel all the way back to 168.50 over the next few weeks. So this is still a pivot point that has validity into later September trade. We are above it. I'm expecting bullish continuation through September now, but if we close below 184.76, then the 168.50 level in reach over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And yes, of course, this 180.80 channel bottom will have, if we were to close below it, should more aggressively ascend the market south within a week or two at the most to 168.50, where once again we can bottom out through the rest of the year, and above which I am anticipating this 225.72 formation by some point, I'd say by the middle of next year, 24, and quite possibly by the end of the first quarter, depending on how the market behaves with respect to this targeted longer-term channel resistance in the 205.66 to 207.71 region. Once again, and I'll just reemphasize that if we do close today above 190.18, that is a secondary buy signal as we move into next week. And this the actual high at 198.23, then in reach, possibly within a full week of activity, 2 weeks at the very most. You know, I'm going to leave it at that. There's really not much else to say. I'll leave you with this image, our big pivotal area as we move into September. Now we are above it, so expecting bullish continuation into later September. That's all I've got. Please click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com. I'll be back tomorrow with Friday's Apple Report. You have a great day.